Well, the stress of working in agriculture can be high. For some, too high. Mental health struggles are unfortunately common for farmers and their families.
Sadly, there's still a stigma on the subject. With May being Mental Health Awareness Month, TWILA's Josh Meeks looks at the difficulties of falling into a dark place.
Let's start with the obvious. Farming isn't easy. Rapides Parish soybean farmer Robert Duncan can testify. He's the fourth generation in his family to work these fields.
You do the best you can with what you have and hope for the best, and pray about it and hope it all works out.
Bills, equipment maintenance, staff management, all the things that come with running a farm rest on his shoulders.
You don't get to stop at the door and take your boots off and leave it outside, because you go home and you go in and you eat supper and you're thinking about it. You're talking, putting your kids in the bathtub and in the bed and you're thinking about it, and you're going to bed thinking about it. You wake up thinking about it. It's just, it's always there. You can't leave it alone and you can't forget about it.
For many in agriculture, that's a lot of pressure. For some, it's too much.
This work sector struggles with, serious issues like suicide.
Dr. Tara Haskins is the Total Farmer Health Director for AgriSafe. She says for people struggling with mental health, no matter how alone you may feel, the first thing you have to do is speak up.
I can't emphasize enough how important communities are. Many times we talk about some of the disparities that exist in rural communities, but we've got a lot of strengths. And our communities and our closeness can be one of those strengths.
Louisiana Farm Bureau prides itself on creating those community connections, not just for longtime farmers, but for those just starting out who may not have those relatable friendships.
A first-generation farmer is going to experience, first of all, isolation most of the time because they often don't have the support system that a generational farmer would have that understands what farming is like and what the pressures and challenges are of farming.
The most important thing to take away is that no one is alone. Farmers want to help their neighbors because they've been there.
Every other farmer in the state, in the South, in the country, in the world is dealing with some form of the same headache, same trouble. Whether it be financial, whether it be weather, whether it be, breakdowns and repairs, they're dealing with the same thing. So when you think that it's getting too much, whether it be, too much or you're feeling down today, pick the phone up and call somebody, talk to somebody, text, type it out and delete it.
As mentioned, there are numerous resources available, many of them right here through Farm Bureau. We have a link to those posted on our website at twilatv.org. And guys, it's so good to see the tide changing with how people talk about this. It used to be, like Robert said, you sucked it up and you just dealt with it. But this generation is seeing that that's not really a solution anymore, and it may have never been.
Well, coming from a stressful world like television news to over here in the ag world, were you surprised to see that there's such an issue with mental health in agriculture?
I mean, not really, Farming can be lonely. It's very stressful work. And unlike a job like a 9-to-5, you can quit there and go across the street. You can't just leave your farm and go down the road to a different farm because it's tied to your family. It's your entire livelihood. And, for multi-generation farmers, they don't want to be the reason that farm failed.
Yeah, I understand that.
That's very true. And thanks for bringing us such a crucial story, Josh Meeks.